There was a bit of controversy at the end of day two when the chief curator here at the SSC in Colombo decided to bring the covers in during the last hour of the play, and the Indian players looked quite unhappy and dissatisfied by why the covers were being brought on, because not a single drop of rain had fallen. But at the end of the day too, Indian players would be mighty happy with their efforts, having gotten Sri Lanka two down at the at with 8 runs on the board. Hello and welcome to Revsportz. I am Shubhayan Chakravarti right here from the SSC Stadium in Colombo, and this segment is powered by IDFC First Bank. And what a perfect day it was for the Indian team. We got to witness a Dhruv Jurel century, some maverick of Rishabh Pant, some madness by Rishabh Pant, and at the end of the day, Prasidh Krishna picking up Lahiru Udara, and that stunner of a catch by Yashasvi Jaiswal, followed by Manav Sutar deceiving Prabhat Jayasuriya with his arm ball. So India would be extremely happy having scored 503 runs on the scoreboard, followed by taking 2 wickets. At the end of the day to close the day. We will talk about the entire days of play, and of course it was headlined by match referee Andy Pycroft's decision to give a 25% match fee fine and 1 demerit point each for Yashasvi Jaiswal and Ashita Fernando for whatever happened on day one of this Colombo test. But at the same time, cricketing wise, it was a day which belonged to Dhruv Jurel. A fantastic century, his second test turn, his first overseas test turn, and despite the pressure which Dhruv Jurel carried before this series, 10 test matches, only 2 innings of some note, 1 century against West Indies, 1 half century. But apart from that, Dhruv Jurel had nothing to show. But by the end of this series, Dhruv Jurel has a fantastic half century which he scored in Gaul, and of course followed by this century which he scored here in Colombo to give India that advantage in this second test match. And of course, having scored 500 runs, and mind you, no team has lost a test match here in this particular venue whenever they have posted 400 plus runs in the first innings, and that was due to mostly Dhruv Jurel and Rishabh Pant scoring the bulk of runs in this first innings. And of course, Rishabh Pant, he was hurt yesterday on day one by a Lahiru Kumara bouncer on his left wrist, but he walked out to bat as soon as Saransh Jain fell within the first 15 minutes of day's play. But after that, it was Rishabh Pant and Dhruv Jurel. They dominated the entire days of play, scored some good shots. And Lahiru Kumara tried to bowl a similar bouncer, but it was Rishabh Pant who smashed it right through the roof of the stadium, and also left a dent in the solar panels that are installed here in this venue. So that was Rishabh Pant's maverick, that was Rishabh Pant's genius, and again he has triggered some polarized opinion by the way he got out after the session break. The first delivery, he wanted to smash it for a 6, but gave his wicket away. But that is Rishabh Pant. He will make you awestruck by his shots, but at the same time he will leave you baffled by some of his shot selection. But again, Rishabh Pant, he is the highest scorer for the Indian team in the history of World Test Championship cycle, and that is despite missing so many matches due to injury. And Rishabh Pant, why he did not come out to keep at the end of the day, Dhruv Jurel was asked this question in the post-day press conference, and he said that he took a blow, he copped a blow on his shoulder, and that is why he was in some pain. So we did not want to take any risk, but he should be fine to keep wickets tomorrow. And just because Rishabh Pant was in some pain, Dhruv Jurel decided to keep wickets for India to close the day for. So Rishabh Pant's maverick, another half century for him. Of course, fans would have loved to see Rishabh Pant score a big one here, but that was left for Dhruv Jurel. And it came after a long break. Even we were standing when he was stranded at 99. Most of the travelling media here were standing in the balcony waiting for him to score the run so that we could click some photographs. And Dhruv Jurel at the end of the press conference did jokingly said that I was seeing you guys waiting for my century. 95, when he was at 95, there was a long rain break. Early tea was taken. It was almost a 2.5 hours of break. But after that, a couple of maiden overs, and Dhruv Jurel jokingly said, wherever I was playing the shot, even if I was timing it really well, it went straight to the fielder. But thankfully, he completed that run, which was a risky run. And Dhruv Jurel was said that, my heart was pumping when I was taking that runs with a fear that a direct hit could, get him out on 99. But he completed that century, and it was a heartfelt moment. Mohammad Siraj was at the non-striker's end when Dhruv Jurel dove for to complete that run. Mohammad Siraj at the other end started to celebrate. It felt like Siraj had completed his own century. But Dhruv Jurel, a master knock, some great shots throughout the day, some discipline showed by him, and of course the moment when he and Siraj hugged after scoring the century tells a lot about the squad harmony, that players are happy by the achievements of each other. They want others to, get some big runs, get some good wickets, so that everyone can celebrate together. And that's what Mohammad Siraj replicated out there on behalf of the entire Indian team. And as soon as India crossed the 500 run mark, the players were sitting, some of them were sitting in the dugout, some of them were right there on the at the balcony of the dressing room. And as soon as they crossed the 500 run mark, it was Shubman Gill, the captain of the team, who called them back. And after that, a couple of balls in the first over by Mohammad Siraj, the ground staff, the chief curator here, decided to bring the covers in, having seen a huge patch of dark clouds hovering around the stadium. So they decided to bring the covers in. The Indian players were not happy at all. Some of them were complaining to the ground staff. The ground staff had to show them the dark patch of cloud cover that was coming in. And after that, it was not a major break, 15 minutes, 20 minutes of break. But India lost 20 minutes to end the day. Maybe a couple of more wickets could have fallen had India gotten the entire hours of last session or last hour of the day. But again, Prasidh Krishna, and he will get some bounce from this pitch on day 3 as well. So watch out for Prasidh Krishna. But that was all of Yashasvi Jaiswal. What a stunner of a catch at gully, and the way he celebrated despite that fine. I was expecting him to give a send-off to Lahiro Dara, but he celebrated within himself, and the entire team joined him to give that confidence to Yashasvi Jaiswal. That was a beauty of a catch. I think perhaps the catch of the series so far. And after that, the umpires were checking the lights. It was again a controversial call. I felt the light was decent out there, but the umpire said you can only bowl the spinners, and that is where Manav Sutar came in, bowled an arm ball. Prabhat Jayasuriya at the striker's end first survived one LBW call. It was a close call, but again he bowled the similar delivery. He was getting some beautiful swerve in with the new ball, and he trapped Prabhat Jayasuriya for LBW. It was an umpire's call. I felt the umpire came under pressure, having seen all the close-in fielders from slips, from short fielding positions appeal for that decision. But at the end of the day, 2 wickets lost for 8 runs. Sri Lanka, they will be under extreme pressure when the day 3 starts. Hopefully the rain gods will stay away. But that was this complete summary of day 2 of this Colombo test powered by IDFC First Bank. Hit the like button, share it with your friends, and do let us know whether you enjoyed that century by Dhruv Jurel and how the day ended for the Indian team. Thank you so much for watching.